And hello to all my Capricorn friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for November 2021. Now today they have dialed up for you a storyline spread. It is a very large spread, a scattershot across the entire spectrum of Capricorn. And the whole idea here is to get the story that's right for you. There may be more than one that resonate with you, and that's okay if they do. But it's more rare, I would say. It's really all about finding the one that fits you. And this also allows us to be extremely accurate because we're looking at different parts of Capricorn. So the cards are already shuffled. We're going to dive right into it. Oh, and I need to tell you too, they wanted to end your reading with a health scrub, a chakra scrub. It's mostly a health scrub, but it does look at the chakras too. It's mostly physical health, but spiritual health does jump in there from time to time. So they want to end with that. So there's something important there that you need to know. So we're going to conclude the reading there. Very exciting stuff. Let's get right into it. Go ahead and hit that like button and build up the energy for the Capricorns. And I'm going to bring you in here so you can watch with me. There we go. What I'm doing now are my ritual cuts. It cuts the decks into 3 different pieces, puts them back together in a separate order, and that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. And to do that with this deck also. And then they're ready to run. So we have storyline for Capricorn. We start with 5 cards, and then I expand it out to until I get a facing that bends in. I'm almost out of space. I'm going to bring that down here. And we're still going. We're going to be a large spread, Capricorn. We got lots to talk about clearly. There we go. There's my end. So this is the main thing that I really want you to see. This is your core group of cards for November, and now I'm going to start grouping them into their little groups and see what we have there. These 2 alone. That one alone. These 3 go together. This is going to jump down here. So that's how we're going to do it. Let me make sure that's right. Yep, that feels good. Okay, so we're looking at 5 different stories. A lot of different stories for Capricorns, a lot of different energies, and a lot of different factors, obviously, going on this month of November. So now let me get some more cards. That's the important stuff, but this also matters too. But this is more for my reading, getting the details through to you. Less important for you to see, but you know the camera's still on, so you know we roll with it. Oh, that one goes there. That lets me know a person. And then this one, I'll get everything in focus for you in just a minute. I know I'm a little off. That's because storyline spreads get so big. It's just unavoidable, really. That's good the way it is. And then we just need 2 for here. And then I'm going to wrap up with oracle cards. Oracle cards go to every single story. That gives me a great deal of accuracy, really. Because it just gives us that little extra oomph, that little bit of detail that kind of wraps the whole thing together very nicely. Okay, so I have all my cards that I need. What I really need to do is just get it in view for you. I'm going to attempt to do that the best I can. Hard to do when we are this big. But here's basically the gist. Down here, that's going to be our first story with that card. Over here, I think that's in view the way it is, except for this guy. He's going to be part of that. And then as we go up here, you can see that story here. The top one I need to get in view. This one I need to get in view. Oh boy. I think we're just going to run out of room. You saw the most important parts, thankfully. I have the leadership here. And going over into this, that's where that ends. That's the end of the table. And then up top here, I have these guys. It's going to be a smaller story up here. All right, so a lot to do, a lot to talk about, Capricorn. We're going to get right to it. Let's go, because we got to get to your health scrub too. Busy, busy, busy Capricorn month. All right, I'm just going to work right in front of me and go through. All right, so the very first thing here is a lot of you are, this is money related. This is your financial sector for the most part. They want to talk about weakness with money. We want to talk about, they start with weakness, but it's really about doing the right thing first with the Hierophant card. That's where we really start in the base card, is really doing the right thing. Purifying, cleaning up your finances. They really want you to do this right. They want you to pay attention, do it by the book. No cheating, no cutting corners, don't do anything like that. Gonna come back to bite you. November is the time to do things right. Also, take care of your people financially. That comes up here with the Hierophant card too. It's the card of taking care of your people, just like the pastor takes care of his congregation and the church. And that's kind of the energy and the vibe that they want you to take in this story number 1 setup. Now we do have some, like I said, we have some weakness going on. So they want you to turn this around. They want you to turn this into strength. So I don't know if this is just a way that you spend money that needs to be turned around, or what you're actually doing with your finances, but that's what they're calling it. They're calling it a weakness. So it's almost like things get your attention, you're allured, you're distracted easily by things, or maybe it's materialism stuff, whatever it is. But on the other side, we have good credit. So this is something you can improve. This is very good to improve, just like how the vibe would be when you improve your credit score. And some of that may be going on here too. That may be affecting, that may be just like a literal thing. I was kind of describing it in more of like a metaphorical way, but it could actually be getting good credit from doing this and cleaning this up and purifying this financial thing. They're showing you're getting a lot more freedom right here in November. So a lot of you have more mobility, have more perhaps liquidity, cash to spend, and whatever it is. So they want you to do things the right way. They want you to nurture. They brought up the nurture card for the angel oracle card. So that's just like, they want you to treat your finances just like they're your own kid. And for some of you, you may actually be spending money on kids. Again, they could just be very literal here. So that's kind of the vibe of story number 1. A lot of moving parts there. It's going to be hard to tell if that's really about you or not. I guess probably the best way to decipher that is if you're working on fixing your finances, if you're actually putting in the effort right now to do that, or you have plans to this month, this story could very well be about you. Otherwise, probably one of the other stories. So that's story number 1. Now that we got that one done, let's jump up. I'm going to get the big one. We're going to hit the big one right now. Now, this is a huge, significant story. That's the good news. That's what happens when they give me major arcana cards, and I have a bunch of them here. The bad news is it's limited on details. Details come from the pip cards in tarot, the kind of the smaller cards. So I get big themes here, but this is going to be a little bit general. And I guess it's a good time to just remind you, this is a general reading. We do have a lot of Capricorn bubble energy here, obviously. So if you're looking for messages that are personal and private, specific only to you, I do offer private readings on my website, scottsagent.com. So back to story number 2. First thing they talk about is going at it alone. Being guided, but for most of you, this is doing something by yourself. You're going on a new journey by yourself. So I don't know if this is recently becoming single, or if this is spending time apart from your family or your loved ones, or perhaps your group of friends. All that stuff comes up when we talk about love. Now, they didn't come out here and tell me that this is specifically about love, but when I have the Hermit card, it means alone. So whatever, like solidarity or whatever they would be talking about, what you're doing alone right now in this month, that's kind of where we're taking this. Now let me give you a little bit of reflection on the details of the smaller cards. They talk about getting out of a funky era alone. It's almost like you're getting out of it. I think you're over the hump. I think most of the funky weird stuff represented by the moon. You're over that hump. Things are improving. Very different than the moon cycles, which we'll talk about later. But we have some bad luck going on there. So this is not your fault. Whatever is going on here with my Capricorns, this is circumstantial. This is the situation. This is what's going on. It's nobody's fault. Not only is it not your fault, but it's not anybody else's fault either. It's just the way it is. It's really what it's all about. That's what they're showing. So as we go on this new journey, they say that you don't know everything. You don't have all the information available to you right now, or there's information being withheld. And perhaps that's for a later time, or at the same time, they maybe don't want you to make any rash decisions right now until you know more information. So there's information gaps going on here. We have the Hangman card. So like literally, I have 6 major Arcana cards in a row. Hard to get details out of. But the Hangman is all about delays. So coming in inverted like this is breaking of delays. So things are going to break. They're going to get busier and more active. And whatever was hung up in this story, whatever wasn't moving and stagnant, that energy is about to start moving. Over here we have growth. We have slow growth though. So this is not anything like where you plant the seed and the Jack and the Bean sprout shoots out to the clouds. It's not like that. This is slow growth. So this is like you planting the seeds and watching little sprouts come out of the ground like days later. And then days later than that, it doubles in size. So this is, anyway, slow growth. No need to tell you details about that. I think you understand where I'm going with that. So they're talking about a slow growth here, and that is also probably the advice here. If whatever's going on here, I feel like most of you, this is love corner related, love corner material. And it doesn't have to be a love relationship either. Like I said, family and friends can also come up here. So they have spending time alone, bad luck, overcoming some weird, funky stuff, information you don't quite know yet, new journey, and the break of the delay. And then we end with growth. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel here, but just don't expect it to be quick. This is a slow growth. The Oracle card they gave me is Crystal Clear Intention, so just really be clear about what you're doing in the situation. Be true to the people that are involved. If it's you directly in this, just be very truthful and honest with them about what your side of the story is, or what your hang-ups are, or what's going on there. Basically, as long as you're acting from a place of truth and you're being clear with what you want, I have no other advice for you. It's really just something you have to navigate through, and it's just going to run its course. And it looks like for the most part, you're over most of the fluffy, weird stuff. You're kind of into the better era here. And I knew this was going to be a weird spread. When I lit the incense here, it was like the fire was coming on the wrong side of the stick and stuff. Like it was doing weird things that I've never seen incense do before. So I just had a feeling this was going to be one of those readings, and it appears to be. So anyway, that's story number 2. Big story there. Story number 3, much simpler. We have an upside down woman here who upside down basically means either blocked or, for a lot of you, this is probably not you they're talking about, or else they just give me the card behind it. So this is another woman for the most part, somebody who's upside down, which means that they're not happy about something, or, they're mad or fighting or whatever. It shows emotional unsuccess. So this could be somebody close to you, could be your family member, it could be a close friend, whatever, but somebody has hit some kind of unsuccessful wall of some form in their life. It is an emotional tie-in, so it could be love related, but it doesn't have to be. Well, as I move to the next card, they gave me overflowing love. So probably love is very the theme, the main factor here. There is, so anyway, the long story short is that it gets better for this person, this woman, or this softer energy. It could be a male too, if it's a softer energy male, but it gets better, okay? Once they get out of whatever they're going through. Because right behind that unsuccessful love notch, I have brand new love coming in. And this is a reading for November. So November shines very promising for that. If you're doing any kind of like rebound thing where you've just gotten over something and like now you're ready for something new and exciting to come through. Now, they do show that you need to continue to nurture your love corner. A lot of you struggle to do that. Perhaps love yourself. Love others the correct way. Or you could even love yourself more or be gentler to yourself. Really, your love corner just needs work. It needs attention. They show that you have been through a lot of pain. A lot of you have, I have the 10 of Swords here inverted. I call this card the Death by 1,000 Paper Cuts. I'll show you real quick. Death by 1,000 Paper Cuts. It's coming in inverted, so thankfully it shows you're coming out of this phase. For a lot of you here in story 3, I think I'm on story 3, yes. So much better to see you coming out than going into it, but it shows that there's still that pain. Paper cuts are not lethal wounds. They're not mortal wounds that are going to kill you, but they hurt like a son of a gun, right? So that's kind of the energy, that's the vibe that you're coming out of. And we end with the Oracle card, their leadership, so they want you to take the power back here. It's your own power. It goes back to nurturing your love corner. They want you to do this. And, you can help guide others as well. That's part of what leadership is. It's not just leading yourself and taking charge, but it's kind of sharing that power in a healthy way. So that's what we have there in story 3. Good stuff. Now, before we get into story 4 and 5, I do want to tell you about the moon cycles. The moon cycles, I like to give you guys a forecast for that every single month so you know what's coming. November 4th, we have the new moon. That's when you want to bring anything new into your life, manifest anything new, whether it's love or health related. Any kind of new exercise program would be very good November, early November. Any kind of new stuff with work, basically new. New is what we're going for. Manifest new on the 4th. Doesn't have to be on the 4th. Anytime toward the beginning of the month is ideal to do that. Now we have the full moon energy on November 19th. That's when you want to get something out of your life that doesn't fit you anymore. It has no place in your life anymore. It could be people. It could be emotional baggage, it could be habits, it could be physical things that need to just go. Whatever it is that needs to go, the garbage truck comes on November 19th. That's the full moon. It doesn't have to be on the 19th, just anywhere there around the 3rd week. And in the past, if you've seen my other readings, I usually say new moon early in the month, full moon late in the month, but that cycle's starting to change. So now I don't want you to do the full moon stuff late in the month, because if you wait too late, you get down there toward the last couple days in November, you're actually getting back into new moon energy. So we don't want to do that. So there we go. And when you align that kind of stuff, things will flow much more smoother. And anything you're trying to bring in or get out will stick. It'll give it much more momentum, really. All right, did that. We're up here now. I'm going to do a little one. A lot of you Capricorns are completing things right now. They say that for a long time, you guys just were slacking. Things are getting complete. For some of you, this has to do with the car or car related. For others of you, this is energetically taking your energy away from 2 different places and putting it back on one, focusing on one thing. A little tunnel vision like, but in a good way. They really wanted you to do this. So whatever you're completing, good things to see. If you have any kind of car projects or maintenance needs to be done with the car in November, good time to do that. Keep that in mind, please. The car is coming in good though, so I don't have any kind of warnings about like driving or anything like that. So all that checks in good. They really just want you to use this time here in story 4 in November to get things complete. Anything you're trying to wrap up, really good time to do that. And they're saying with the Oracle card that you already know what I'm talking about and you know what to do. So this is really just a reminder. I'm not really telling you anything new if you're here in story 4 with me. So there we go there. Before we get into story 5, let me tell you about the newsletter real quick. The newsletter, we have a very exciting thing coming out in December. It's a giveaway. Literally everybody signed up for my newsletter is going to get something free. And I'm not telling you what it is yet. It's still secretive. I'm keeping a secret on it, but it's going to be my biggest giveaway just about ever. It's huge, and it's only for my newsletter people, so please make sure you're signed up for the newsletter. It's at the very bottom of my website. You just go to the website, scottsagent.com, you enter your first name and your email address and send it off. And I only send 1 email a month for the newsletter. It's just for updates and promo codes, saving money on readings, all kinds of good stuff like that. So definitely take advantage of that. And also Facebook. I'm giving away stuff on Facebook every month too. So all kinds of giveaways and contests. And Facebook is really, I set that around the 20th of every month. So make sure you follow the Facebook page as well. All right, let's get into your story 5. Story 5, they want to talk about getting out of, some of you, this could be actually getting out of bankruptcy. Otherwise, this is an improvement of financial situation. For a lot of you, you've been clearing out some things in your home, selling some things or repurposing or even purging, getting rid of, maybe garage selling, but things are coming out instead of going in, so good to see. We have clear your space for the Oracle card, so they're talking about getting rid of clutter, clearing the energy around you, that feng shui type energy. So very, very good time to even, move your furniture around, get more natural light in, get plants in the house, very good for oxygen intake. All that kind of stuff sets really well for your November. So back to the money part, improvement of money. There's not a lot for me to say about that. They present it like a small success. So it's either like something that came from a promotion or a spot bonus or just getting things in order in your work corner or whatever they're talking about specifically. Now, I do have to let you know that this is fate-driven. This is not so much about your choices. You just had this coming to you, and you were due this. So whatever that is, a lot of you might already know what I'm talking about. For others of you, this may be on its way in November. they don't really give me a timeline here because we are reading for the entire month of November. The last thing that they show me is we have a blocked action with love coming up here. So if you're involved with anybody at work and you're kind of merging your work and your love together, they're showing not to do that here, or at least not with that person, or at least not now. Obviously, that's a specific message, but hey, it's for somebody, so I'm throwing it out there. So that's what we have there for story number 5. Lots of good stuff for Capricorn. I told you we're going to be all over the place. I knew this was going to be a weird reading. So that's going to wrap up that. Now I'm going to do your health scrub. And before I do that, I do have to reshuffle the cards. So I'm going to cut you out for just a minute to spare you the delay of having to watch all that. So I will be right back. All right, Capricorn, I am back. The cards have been reshuffled. I'm going to do the ritual cuts again because I always do that. And then we can run it. And I'm going to go 1 through 7, top to bottom. That's how I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Usually don't get a whole lot of extra cards here, but there are a couple spots I'm going to look at just to make sure I get it right for you. And really, I'm just going to look at any problem areas here. We have good action in red. Not going to specify that, but that's good to see. Small failure in the orange, so like lower stomach stuff may be bothering some of you now or in November. Just keep that in mind. It brings it up as a small failure or small setback. So like, probably like a small illness or a bug or something like that lies in potential. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that if that does happen, that's the only thing coming up, like lower stomach kind of issues for November. When we get upper stomach, we do have some hangups there, so that could be like digestive slowdowns, like constipation type thing, or anything in your upper digestion, and also like your purification organs as well, liver, kidneys, all that kind of stuff. That can come up in top, really lower too. It depends. They're showing here it's just hung up. They're just presenting it as hung up. I'm not super concerned about it, but if you are hung up on something going on in your upper abdomen, they really want you to follow your intuition as far as what you need to do about it and what you need to, basically go see the right person is what it's about here. The angel card I pulled is passion, but it's really just getting you to follow your intuition, kind of follow the path of where that you need to go if you need to fix this. So again, that's upper stomach. If it's a lower stomach thing that you got right now, at least in this spread, I'm not super concerned. When we get here into heart's coming in weird. I'm going to come back to that. Let me see what else I have to talk about. We have nurturing the throat, taking good care of your throat. A lot of you might be talking quite a bit here at work. Specifically, they bring up work. Just kind of watch what you say. Very important there. Taste the words before you spit them out, I guess is what I'm saying there. Balance between third eye. Okay, so your third eye and your crown are fantastic. They're, well, I mean, just basically your head in general. This is, I keep forgetting I'm not doing a chakra scrub, but they are connected. They're so intertwined. It's almost like doing the same thing. But your lower head and your upper head all coming in good there. So any kind of dentistry stuff looks good. Any kind of like head cold stuff looks good. Nasal, sinuses, all that stuff looks pretty good. It's really the heart area that is my only other concern besides, upper stomach there that we were talking about. A lot of you are kind of on the back end of any kind of would-be problem. So that's, I guess, who I have to talk to. If you've had any kind of heart issues or cardiovascular or circulatory, I'm not going to say circulatory. That would be more root chakra, and I don't have that here. So I really feel like a lot of you could benefit, though, from cardio. I did have action going on in the root, so that was very good to see. So if that's you, continue to do that. If that's your course of action and improving your heart, go ahead and keep doing that. The moon card coming in inverted here shows that you're over the hump. thankfully, and this is an improving situation. They bring up creative writing. It's an interesting way to kind of talk about this, but this could be journaling. Other people could, if you're going through something here with your heart, or you were able to like cure yourself or improve your health with your heart, or even lungs. Lungs comes up there too. I always forget to talk about lungs, but lungs comes up right with heart. If you've improved any of that yourself, you may want to consider writing, even like blogging or something like that, so you can share that knowledge with somebody else. That's really what they talk about here. So I think that's pretty much all of it. Good stuff there. Very interesting indeed. So we have been through the entire 5 stories for Capricorn, lots of stuff, and we've been through the entire health scrub. I hope that you find this of use and beneficial. I want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with your family and loved ones, and I'm going to see you guys in December. Please remember to like and subscribe so you can see future videos. I do these every single month, and I'll see you soon.